Hello, everybody. Sauce and Steve back here with post commentary over my new second fastest run. A solid 25:24, although it could have been sub 25, but we'll get to that later. So I think since my personal best, I have really tried to up the reset efficiency. I think that, I don't know, at least to me, it seems that the only way to get, well, the best way to get good runs is to just get Stronghold first after repeatedly leaving the Nether at decent sub 30 pace and then just getting completely screwed over by Stronghold distance or something like that. All of my three most recent sub 30s have been Stronghold first, and I think that that's just the meta now, and that's just kind of what I have to play for. So I decided to play out the seed just because it has good spawn chords. It was like 100, 300, 100, something like that. Negative 300, 100, maybe. And so I'm trying to reset for seeds like that, or either just like really good terrain or invisible village, something like that. That's basically what my reset efficiency is at right now. Usually you can kind of get a sub 5 dig down off of something like this. My personal best dig down, well, no, sorry. My PB dig down, the dig down in my PB is about a 5-minute, 5 second, something like that dig down. And so I'm trying to just reset for sub 5 dig down as best I can, just because that's just like the same pace as my personal best, so just trying to stay ahead of that. So in this run, I decided to get tools here specifically because I believe I saw a snowy village, and if I didn't see a snowy village, it's just over this hill over here. But I saw a snowy village, and so I decided to get my tools first because snowy villages do not have cobblestone in their houses, and so because of that, it kind of doesn't really matter when you get your tools for a snowy village. It's still just as slow to get them in the village versus not in the village. So I just decided to get them here because that means I can get a boat and I can get a wooden shovel for snowballs. And so I think boating is definitely definitely the best play here, as it's just objectively faster than swimming through this whole ocean and doesn't lose hardly any hunger. So as I see my chords here approaching just about the stronghold ring, there's the village. I can't quite tell. I'm watching it on a very small screen right now. I can't quite tell if I saw that from further out. But anyways, this is decently fast as far as starting off goes. Entering this village here, and this run does indeed have a sub 5 dig down, which is just perfect, exactly what I'm looking for. So yeah, so we break the boat here and try to just ice boat the last little bit of this, although it does not go perfectly well, as I kind of miss getting into the boat, but it doesn't really matter anyways. Alright, so get a couple snowballs, get carrots, just because these villages are notoriously shit at having any food in them at all. And so I see this blue ice house always has 2 beds, so I'm gonna pick up 2 out of my 3 beds already. And then the last one up here, I think it should have a bed, but it does not. It looks the same on the outside as any other house like that, so anyways. I tried to organize my inventory, kind of messed up a little bit, but that's fine. And then we're going to kill the golem. And so because I already have tools, I can basically just dig down right after I kill the golem, but I end up misplacing a couple blocks. And so now we're ready to finally kill the golem. So in terms of the golem kill, I'm pretty sure it's just objectively faster to crouch on top of your pillar and then spam kill it, although I think it does use more sword ability, but that's why I always craft 2 swords. So that's my typical game plan for the village. But anyways, so This is the L-Bell. I recently rewatched Boulder's video on spring strats, so I do not mess up with spring strats anymore, which had been an issue that for the past couple weeks just because I was too lazy to rewatch that video. But anyways, sub 5 dig down here, and it is a stone pickaxe, so it's going to be just slower than normal dig down, like my personal best or anything like that. And that does lead to me entering the nether through the stronghold a bit slower, but I think that was mostly due to nav, not due to the pickaxe necessarily, but whatever. It is a very high stronghold though, so that is definitely a bonus. And immediately I go left because there's an altar chest and it has 2 diamonds, which is just perfect. So now I have a diamond sword. Going to the library, decide to get 3 string. I just grabbing 2. You only really need 2 because of fishing rod, but I don't know, I guess I just grabbed 3 just because why not. So for the nav here, I don't exactly remember how good this nav was. I think it was like kind of bad, but not disgustingly terrible. Ended up being about an 8-minute nether enter through stronghold, which is, definitely sub 30 pace. If the nether is not completely terrible. But anyways, so this is exactly what you're kind of really not looking for, is just a bunch of rooms close together, like all these 4-ways and all that kind of stuff. I mean, 4-ways are usually good, but anyways, point being that the portal room needs a lot of space to generate. So if you're in a part of the stronghold where there's lots of cavernous, like, I don't really know how to describe it, but just like a bunch of rooms close together, it's usually not the best because the portal room needs a bunch of space, so it'll usually just not be there because the rooms will interfere with its generation. And obviously I have carrots as my only food source, so I have to wait like 10 fucking minutes just to get myself back up to full hunger because carrots are some of the worst food in the game. But that's just how snowy villages are. It doesn't really punish me too hard in the run, I don't think. I mean, it does at some points, but it's generally kind of fine. So anyways, here back through starter, just decide to head down middle because, mid theoretically is supposed to be the best. I probably should have gone mid right away, but I saw that altar chest, so. And then I see there's a hidden room here. Obviously mid did not pan out, so I hit the hidden room and down this staircase, and then right down one more staircase, and there's the portal room, right below starter, I believe. And it's a 4-eye, so at this point I freak out just a little bit, because everybody knows No Fear and Obvious are world records with 4 eyes, so, maybe. But I mean, it is an 8-minute nether enter, so definitely not. But, just kind of, it's just 4 eyes just generally helpful. You only need 4 blaze rods, and I have a diamond sword for that, so shouldn't really be too much of a concern. And I've never had a 4-eye pre nether enter in a stronghold. This is my highest eye count. I've had 3 a couple times, but 4 is just outrageous. But anyways, we're entering here at about 8 flat and instant fortress. So now I really start to freak out. And my movement and stuff generally just gets worse, and I believe that that's mostly just because I was freaking out about the pace, or the potential at least, if there's warped, which I do not know if there is or not yet. So I don't really have very many blocks, which is not necessarily a good thing, so I have to end up wasting some time mining wood, which I usually try to avoid doing, but I don't even have an iron pickaxe, so I can't like shred through netherrack like usually. So I decided to just pillar up here. Guess the spot looks as good as any on the fortress. I can't really tell from this low angle. And this fortress is, I don't know, this run is not very well played just in general, but this fortress might be the most like embarrassingly bad part of the run, just because my blaze rates are insane, but I kind of play the fortress like a very goofy goober, and so I don't really take as best of advantage of it as I could. For instance, there I run up onto the part of the fortress, but I get freaked out by a wither skeleton and a couple blazes, and obviously don't have fire resistance, so I'm just kind of, I don't know, it's not the best play. But anyways, so I try to just enter through a different area and see how well this pans out. In reality, both spawners are not even close to here, so this is just the objective, just not a very good play. The only thing that's over in this area is a skeleton, which I dispatch of pretty easily. Take one hit, but whatever. There's literally nothing here. This is just some random tail end of the fortress, so then I have to find my way back down. And I end up doing that, switching out some blocks here. I end up doing that. I find this little staircase over in this direction. I will go down in a second. Or, sorry, never mind. Go through different, try to check some 4 ways just in case there's a spawner or something like that. There's the staircase. So I go down, and there's no spawner. Still looking, go down again. No spawner. So I've been in this fortress for like at least a minute now, and I have literally nothing. No blaze rods, no anything. Just aggroed 2 withers. So this is just not very well played. This spot right here is actually the same spot that I first came into, but I just the withers scared me, so I just left. Just not very good play. But anyways, finally kill 1 blaze, and of course it drops, because never punished for bad gameplay. So I see the second blaze over there, and I don't want to get shot, so build a little tower, just wait for him to chill out a little bit. And then obviously with a diamond sword you don't even need 2 crits, so I just take him out pretty easily. So 2 for 2. And finally we're actually doing something with the fortress. And so I decide to run down this hallway just because I know that I've been the other directions. And there it is, 2 spawners right next to each other, and all I need is 2 more rods. And then I'm out. Obviously still no warp terrain to be seen, but you know, it is what it is. So this skeleton diamond sword is really no problem. It only takes 3 hits even without any crits. Once again, don't block it off properly, but it doesn't really matter. It's diamond sword, it shreds everything. And so I'm 3 for 3. And at this point, I decide to try and play this. I'm trying to play the spawner, but then I see 1 more blaze, and I'm like, well, if he just drops, then I'm just out. And he does. So I decide to get off the fortress as quickly as possible, just to avoid getting shot by some blazes. Now, I'm not sure that this is the best decision to go this way, just because the Crimson obviously, like, theoretically should spawn next to Warped, or like, you know, Crimson's a border biome to Warped, so like, you know, I maybe should have gone towards the Crimson, but I just kind of leaving this way because I already knew what was back that direction, and it just kind of all looked like wall terrain to me at the time, so I just kind of thought that the better play would be to go somewhere that I have not explored yet, although I do end up getting pretty severely punished for it, and I'm obviously still freaking out. It was about a 12 flat fortress exit, with all rods, and so that is insanely good pace if there's warped by. Most likely PB, you know, you get like a 2-minute warp split, especially with 8 pearls only needed. That's definitely very possible. So at this point, I kind of make, you know, decision making is a little bad because I'm freaking out because I'm on pace, and I'm never on pace. But anyways, I kind of play this part especially a bit stupidly because I only have 1 pickaxe. I mean, I have a little bit of cobblestone, I think, so I don't like need to save it, but I'm just digging through a wall, and that's just not really working out very well. Obviously, and then there's also, like, you know, how do I even get out of the situation that I'm in? Like, I'm just getting shot at by a ghast. I think there's a soul sand valley that direction, so like it just gets even worse. I try to boat down, it just gets set on fire for some reason. It even gets set on fire over there for some reason. So I'm not really sure what's going on with my boat, but I do end up boating down safely. Over here, I jump out of the boat, even though it does fall damage, just because I think it's a little faster, just get out the boat faster. Anyways, obviously carrots is not a very good food source, so I'm just kind of suffering. Just all around in this situation. So I'm basically just kind of back where my home portal is, and I've just wasted, you know, 2.5 minutes just running around the nether aimlessly. looking for warp that does not exist in that direction. So my next plan is to obviously head the opposite direction, because I know that one direction's shit, the to the left of me is shit, and to behind of me is very bad. So I go in front. I go this direction. So I just bridge across here very slowly, because I do not know how to god bridge, unfortunately. I don't know, maybe I'm just bad, but I just don't know how to do that on the inputs on the controller. I should learn at some point, but it hasn't punished me yet, so. Anyways, also this way is still Solstheim Valley, and somehow this fortress is either huge, or maybe there's two fortresses. I didn't actually go back and check if there's two fortresses, but if not, this is the biggest fortress I've, ever seen. It's just so expansive, for no reason. And so at this point, I'm seeing how just completely walled in this terrain is. There's nowhere to go. So now that means that 3 of the directions that I have gone are just complete garbage, and I've wasted quite a bit of time doing that. So now what? Just there goes PB pace, just completely out the window. Even if there was a warp that I was in right now, it still might not even be PB pace. I see my home portal, which is a little disheartening, because, what was I doing with this last couple minutes? Just literally nothing, and now I'm back where I came into the nether. And my pickaxe breaks, so just insult to injury. But anyways, the run will start getting more interesting here in a second. So I'm just trying to go the last possible way that I did not go, which is to the left of when I come out of the portal. So anyways, trying to get through this stupid wall, finally make it out, and fall on my face. And so now we're just sprinting this direction, because hopefully this is not actually a wall and will actually lead to something. And spoiler alert, it does end up leading to something. I do have to deal with a couple of piglins, but I have a diamond sword, so it doesn't really matter. My health gets pretty low, which is just inconvenient, because my carrots are so slow at healing me. It's just absurd how terrible carrots are as a food source. But at least it's not nothing. At least it's something. And finally the train opens up. It opens up, and the hope has returned. I can cope. Maybe I can get a sub 30. Maybe I have something. And so I'm not quite sure when I see it here, but just beyond this hill is warped. It's not the best terrain, obviously, but it does end up sufficing, and I do end up getting my 8 pearls through this. So here's my warped, and I'm finally just bridging over to it. And I believe it's about an 18-minute warped enter, which is obviously not anywhere close to PB pace, but it is definitely sub 30 pace. The only problem with this warped is that it's kind of it's just really small. It's really small, and there's that massive lava flow that I don't block off. But I just reasoned that diamond sword should be able to shred enderman pretty quickly, and I don't really need very many pearls, so let's just try and start the warped as soon as possible. There's my first enderman, and they must have buffed enderman's reach in the last update, right? There's no way he's hitting me from there on any other version besides the most recent one. I don't know. Maybe I'm just bad, but the corner used to be the most brokenly overpowered way to kill enderman, just by far, but now it's just being a little. Now that the enderman's reach probably got buffed, I might start returning to the old one, but usually you have enough food where it doesn't really matter. I do have although I don't have the best food, I do have at least something. I have a decent amount of carrots, so and I'm not really going to be taking all that much damage throughout the rest of the run, hopefully, so I have just adopted the strategy of standing more towards the back of the Enderman umbrella, just because that way you can't get hit while you're not jumping. So yeah. And so we have 2 pearls here. I think my rates are 2 for 3, 2 for 4, something like that. obviously not perfect like the Blaze was, but, you know, not everybody is off ESR. So, and this is another problem with the Warped, is that the place where I built my tower, I just tried to get it out of the waste biome, but it's kind of low to the ground, which means that Enderman will be spawning, you know, higher up and harder to see. So, anyways, this split isn't too slow. It's kind of an average warped split, but you know, it's not the best, but definitely passable. So then, trying to aggro more guys here. 3 pearls, obviously almost halfway. After these 2, I'll almost certainly be halfway. There's the 4th, and I aggro a couple more guys. At least 1 more. And there's the 5th, luckily. And so there's another one aggroed. Just trying to look around and get as many Endermans as possible so I can just finally be out of this and maybe salvage a sub 25. That's my goal at this point, is just a sub 25 for this run at least. And so I have 6 pearls. I only need 2 more, but spawns are still very, very slow. So it's a bit rough. But we get a drop, and then I aggro 1 more just to make sure. Surely one of these 2 drops, and they both drop, actually. So I went like 5 for 5 on my last Enderman, which is really nice. But now we're able to leave, and so I'm running towards my home portal here. I'm not sure the time exactly, but it's definitely sub 25 pace. And my home portal is actually, thankfully, like very close to this direction. So, unfortunately, though, there's a ghast, and this random lava flow came down and blocked my nice terrain, so I have to kind of run behind it while being shot at. But, you know, not too big of an issue. And so at this point, I almost forget which way I came in. I almost start towering up, but then I realize I recognize these magma blocks on the floor, and I'm like, oh wait, my home portal should be this direction. And so another piglin spawn right in my way, which is inconvenient. And I want to get around this corner and eat, but there's hoglins right there, so I just have to keep going a little bit further. And, you know, only 4 hearts is not that much, but, you know, it doesn't really matter as long as I can just outrun everything. Couple more carrots, and my home portal is just around this corner here, so I'll be getting back to the overworld. See my original build up spot, and my portal's just right there, so perfect. I put a bed in my hotbar, specifically just in case I get set on fire, so I can set my spawn, which there is fire, but it's not that big of an issue. So, craft my 8 eyes. Just, you know, like the PB where I got set in fire and I had to pull a bed out of my inventory, make sure I didn't die. But so that was my thought process there. But anyways, so we're entering here, and this is a 22-minute and 57-ish second end enter, which is definitely sub 25, 1000% sub 25. But first of all, I don't have any obsidian, which is fine, right? Just do a cycle that uses cobblestone or something. If you think that, then you have clearly never watched the Epic Gamer Sauce and Steve before, because I am so nervous. I mean, this is the second best pace I've ever been on in my life, and I'm getting no perch, so I'm just getting, you know, pissed off and nervous. Not a good combination when you're trying to just finish out a good run. But anyways, it finally perches, and so I have full health, which you know should be fine. Get the crit bug, get the sword hits, and so I'm going to try to set up miner cycle, right? But I get hit by some, in my opinion, some complete bullcrap. And I can't place a block there to set up my miner cycle, and so I just say fuck it and blow up the bed anyways. I'm not sure why I couldn't place a block there. I think maybe my hitbox was colliding with the dragon or something. Maybe it was a low perch. something like that. But I'll just say fuck it. Like, if we're lucky, we get lucky. And so the dragon takes a little bit longer to repurge than I would like. And so because of that, at this point, I realized that sub 25 is dead, unfortunately. I believe that right about here we're hitting 2450 and the dragon is still alive. So unlucky, but go next. I think about setting up 2 beds, but I'm like, no, that's just going to blow up my beds and probably not even kill the dragon, just because of the amount of health that it has left. And so I pray for a quick repurge, and luckily this time I do actually get it. And so once the health is just past the E, then the E and Ender Dragon, then you're probably fine to blow up a bed and kill it. And so I hit it 3 times, and there we go. There's another sub 30. Hopefully I can get it a better time than this, but subscribe to see me try. Alright, see you guys.